Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 5th. This week, you start with this Divine Intelligence card. It says, to connect with your higher self, you must first create space to listen. You also have the Shooting Star. It says, what you've asked for is coming true. Your wish is about to manifest. Love it. That is one of my favorite cards in this deck. So I feel for a lot of you, there could be some sort of wish fulfillment. Definitely, it's been kind of like a little bit of a theme for the month of May. Like even in the May monthly readings, there was kind of like a lot of like wish fulfillment type stuff going on in the reading, so that could be good. The hierophant can represent blessings, or he is blessing these two people in front of him. So I like a wish is kind of a blessing, right? So maybe it's, or what I'm trying to say is maybe it's not really like a wish. It could just be a blessing coming in for you, something that you've been waiting for to show up, which would be great, of course, here, Virgo. But yeah, this looks good. You have the Page of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the Eight of Swords. The Page of Swords is going to the Ace of Swords to the Six of Cups. The Page of Swords is my card of like childlike energy, or but he is childlike in the sense that he is kind of curious and he follows his curiosity. So I feel that you like following your curiosity and also being more playful with the things that you're working on is going to be important for you. He doesn't really like attach too much to what he is doing. Maybe like if he's looking at a project, he'll research it, ask a lot of questions about it, but he isn't like attaching a certain outcome to what he wants. He's just kind of like willing to explore it and see where it goes. And I feel that would be an amazing energy for you here, Virgo. So I would definitely do that. The other thing is that this could be love. I do kind of feel for some of you that there could be a person who has their eye on you. You've been getting like a Taurus or just an earth sign in general, kind of like all up in your business for a couple of weeks now at least. So it wouldn't surprise me if you were attracting like an earth sign or a person with a crap ton of earth in their chart, because they keep showing up here. If you're with an earth sign, or if you're already with a person, I am also getting children, so some of you could be thinking about having children with that person or something like that. You have the Four of Swords, another card of blessings. There's a person right here in this stained glass window who is blessing this other person right here, and this guy here is hoping and praying for a blessing. So a lot of you have probably asked for a blessing with that Shooting Star card, or you've been wishing and hoping to receive some sort of blessing. So I feel that there could be like a blessing coming in for you, or there's like some sort of blessing that you're hoping for that will come in for you with that Shooting Star card. And again, I would. And the other thing I'm getting here is that if you haven't asked for a blessing, we have the Ace of Swords right here, and the Ace of Swords can represent like spiritual communication. So it might be a good time to like start asking the universe for what you want, right? You have the Eight of Swords. It is like a weird week. The readings have been like much better this week, number one, but there's also still kind of like this stuck energy in the readings for this week. And so they've been mostly positive, but there might be still some things that we're holding on to that we have to release. There might be some things that are keeping us stuck that we have to let go of. This could also say, like sometimes I think when we sit with a problem for too long, we can only see one way out. And the Eight of Swords says there is more than one solution to any problem that you're dealing with. You just have to be open to those solutions. And that's what I would say with the Eight of Swords is like open up to other solutions, especially if you're stuck, or if you're feeling stuck or something like that. With the Page of Swords, you have the Five of Cups. I would be careful of past people that are coming in and claiming regrets. I said this in the 2025 readings, the yearly readings that I did to pretty much everyone. It's like, I said like by May, people could be really feeling their regrets at the beginning of the year. And then, when the retrogrades clear, which they have now at the beginning of May, then, we're finally past like the shadow period of most of the retrogrades, that people could really be feeling those regrets. And, they could be trying to come back, or they could be wanting to communicate or something like that. So not telling you what to do here, Virgo, but I would be careful of people who have regrets or who are coming back with regrets. Now, you could absolutely accept the apology, right? I mean, we have the Ace of Swords here. Ace of Swords can represent an apology, but I would just be careful of that. With the Four of Swords, you have the Ace of Cups. Yes, if you have been hoping and praying for love, there clearly could be a very strong connection coming in here. Two Aces is a definite yes to any question that I have not answered as well. So for those of you that have a question or are asking something, the answer is yes here. Two Aces is also amazing for any new beginning that you're hoping to have in your life. So it could be any type of new beginning at all. It doesn't have to be love. It could be just something that you will love. So I like to see that. Yes, with the Eight of Swords, you have the Knight of Cups. Definitely like a new connection for those of you that want it. Knight of Cups can be a knight in shining armor. Now, we have three knights here. Knight of Swords with the Knight of Pentacles would definitely say, like, don't rush into this situation. Like, take your time. You know, don't try to make it something it isn't too soon. You know, just kind of like take your time, ask a lot of questions, be curious about the person, and then make your decision, right? And I feel like slowing things down would be a good idea. I feel like this is saying, like, don't fall in love with this person right away, even if it is the love of your life, right? I feel like it's saying, like, you know, make this person. I don't like when people say, you know, make this person prove it or whatever, because it's like, okay, well, then you also have to prove it as well, then, if you want a truly balanced connection. But it is almost like saying, like, allow this person to earn it. And you're going to have to do the same thing for them as well, right? This goes both ways in a connection, you know? But I would say, like, let them earn the connection, right? Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have the Seek Guidance in this card. It says, it is time for a different perspective. Yes. You have this Be Still card. It says, cultivate a space of stillness and silence to just be. Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is like rushing around, you know, like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to solve a problem. But usually that doesn't work. So sometimes if we just sit with the problem real quick and think about it, we can come up with a better solution. This other card, that it said something, you know, it's time for a different perspective. Yeah, we are in a time of new perspectives. It's like, you know, people, like, the world is changing very quickly. And whenever, you know, in these times, we have to find new perspectives. We have to look for other ways of doing things. So I think gaining new perspectives or seeing the other side of whatever it is you're working on or doing is a really good idea right now. And I would take time to be curious about it with the Page of Swords. You have the Hierophant, the Ace of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. I definitely feel like blessings or something like that coming in from the Hierophant. The thing with the Hierophant is that this would be a blessing that you worked for. You know, it would be something that you have, like, earned by doing the work. So if you've been doing a lot of work on yourself, or, you know, if you've been working towards something that would be a blessing, a lot of you could be getting a result at this time with the Hierophant energy. The other thing about the Hierophant is you could be, like, downloading a lot of information. You know, that's kind of the message that's popping into my head with the Hierophant. Like, so don't, you know, don't second guess your knowledge right now, because it might be coming from, like, source. You know, he communicates with both sides, heaven and earth. He's able to take the messages from heaven and translate them and teach them to the two people in front of him. But, you know, sometimes, like, the Hierophant, I feel it's that type of information where you just know something. Like, you can't explain how you know something, but you just know. And it's that inner knowingness that where it's, like, probably something that you downloaded. Even your ideas, I feel, like, not only this week, I would say for, you know, the rest of the summer, Virgo, it's like you could be downloading some really solid ideas from the universe. You might not know, like, where these ideas came from, but it doesn't matter. I would be kind of like, you know, trusting those ideas and using those ideas and, you know, taking advantage of them and everything like that with the Hierophant. You have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords could be like a victory or big success coming in for you, so I like to see the Ace of Swords here. The Ace of Swords is also your like inner truth. It can also represent overcoming an obstacle. I do kind of feel that energy for you, Virgo, where if you've been experiencing any obstacles or things have been getting in your way, it's like you're coming up with better ideas. In your next row, you have this Innovate card, and the Ace of Swords would definitely be like innovation. So I feel a lot of you could be like innovating solutions or better ways of doing things. I also feel that some of you could be cutting something out here. You have 3 aces in this reading. You also have the Ace of Pentacles at the end. So you could be, you know, the Ace of Swords cuts both ways. And the Ace of Swords, we have this palm frond right here, this olive branch here. Palm frond in the tarot can represent making a sacrifice, and the olive branch is like an offer of peace, or it can also represent abundance. So if you're thinking about like cutting one thing out to have something better, definitely a good time to do that here, Virgo. You have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is like charging forward towards something. I kind of feel bad about the Knight of Swords in your reading. I feel both energies popping up in my head here. Again, this is why I don't read reversals. I read energy. It's like sometimes I get one or the other, or I get both, right? And so I kind of feel like both things. Like, number one, I feel like you're building a lot of momentum, which is good. We are definitely in a time of momentum. And really, it's like the one thing that I think people should focus on in 2025 is what is working. And that might sound obvious, but people don't do it, right? I work with like literally thousands of people, and here, and also I teach YouTube on weekends where I teach thousands of people how to do YouTube and all that other stuff. And it's like, so many times I will tell people like, you have this video that got 10,000 views. All your other ones got like 100. Double down on that idea. And they're always like, I can create that again. I'm like, yes. Why not, right? And so it's like sometimes we just don't see it. And I feel like this is saying, like, look at the things that are actually working and double down on those things so you can build momentum. I also feel like it's saying, do not be too hasty with a person, right? So I get both sides of the card. And so especially if you're meeting a person, it's like I think it would be better for you to be calm, cool, collected. Don't start like texting this person 24/7. Don't spend every waking moment with this person right up front. I think this reading is saying, especially if you're meeting a person, it's like allow it to build. Allow the flower to blossom, right? With the Hierophant, you have the Seven of Cups. Hierophant and Seven of Cups is pretty good. Seven of Cups is spoiled for choice, but the Hierophant is getting these messages, these higher messages. This guy in this card is imagining something in front of him, and so I feel this is saying, like, ground your vision in reality, or your dream, or that shooting star card, your wish is about to manifest. It's like maybe you have a wish that you could be grounding in reality if you put the work in with this Seven of Cups. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. I mean, we're in a time of co-creation. Pluto and Aquarius, right? Any opportunity to benefit the collective is just going to benefit you at this time. That could include working together with other people. Three of Pentacles doesn't really say we have to work with other people, but it could say there might be people who can support your vision, right? These people are supporting his vision right here. And so finding people who support you, when you're successful, they'll be successful, and and kind of creating that type of energy is going to lead to more victories. So I would definitely do that. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Eight of Wands. Yes, quick movement, quick communication. I don't know. I feel like this is a tough one, like in a good way. Like in a lot of ways, I feel that you are going to want to move quickly if this is a person. And so it might be hard to hold back. And I'm not saying, like, you don't have to be fake or anything like that. That's not what I'm suggesting. But, I would definitely take your time. But at the same time, it does look very good. Eight of Wands is quick success, quick conclusion. It's, it can represent something happening very quickly as well. So, like I said, I don't know. It doesn't have to be all bad with the Eight of Wands. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, here you go. You have this connection card. It says, a special connection will open doors for your path. It may be a partner, a mentor, a client, or a helpful friend. You can't make that up. You have this Innovate card. It says, with the right inspiration, you can bring a novel approach to almost anything. What can you innovate to contribute towards making the world a better place? Yes, I think this is what everyone needs to do with Pluto and Aquarius. Pluto and Aquarius is literally innovation. Just that simple. I always say we are in a time of third place solution. So coming up with a third place solution to any problem that exists would be a really good idea with this Innovate card. And I would encourage you to record your ideas and, think about your ideas. And, I like to play the impossible game with myself all the time, which is, like I come up with an idea that might be impossible, but I always say to myself, but how would I do it, right? Just the other day, someone was saying to me, they work in, the hot tub industry, right? And they're having a problem right now because of the tariffs. They get their pumps or whatever from China, right? And so they're having a problem with that because they don't want to pay the money, but they need the pumps for the hot tubs and all this other stuff. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, I'm like, how could I solve that problem? It's like how could I put myself in the middle there? Like, I'm a big fan of being a middleman, right, Virgo? And it was just something I played around with the idea. But so many times in my life, I will do that, and it will give me an idea for something else. So again, I'm a big fan of like just playing around with your ideas, and like, can you solve a problem for even someone else? Maybe it leads to a business, maybe it leads to some other genius idea, and I would just be playing. You have all this childlike energy in this reading that it's saying play, right? You have the Seven of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups. The Seven of Pentacles is my card that says, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth it to keep investing energy into those seven pentacles, or is there something better that you could be doing at this time? I don't know. You have to answer that question. So Seven of Pentacles is about looking at your efforts and seeing if there's something else that you can grow. The funny thing is that you have the Knight of Pentacles, which says you probably have a lot of knowledge and wisdom to grow something new, but you have to start planting seeds in those fields behind you. The Knight of Pentacles is the only card where he is not moving, the only knight that isn't moving in the tarot. So it's like you probably have the ideas, Virgo, necessary to be able to grow something new and better or different in your life, but you just have to take the steps to do it. And you're probably already thinking in a new direction anyway. So I would say, like, just take those first steps, just make it happen, right? Develop some sort of daily routine, or develop some sort of habit or something like that. And I think that would be probably the most helpful thing for you. You have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is that childlike energy. Again, Six of Cups can represent like innocence and nostalgia. I don't read it as a past person coming back. I know a lot of people do, but that's not really what it means. It can represent thinking about the past, sure, but it doesn't necessarily say someone is coming back from the past. As a matter of fact, a lot of like tarot, there are plenty of tarot books that say do not go back to the past with these Six of Cups. But anyway, this is it represents your inner child, and these children are inside these castle walls, and we have this guard right here who's guarding the inner child. And so the Six of Cups can sometimes say, we have to embrace our inner child. We have to be more playful with ideas. Like I already said, we need to ask more questions, explore more, and do all those things. And that's what I would do here. The Six of Cups can be a gift from the universe, and usually the gift we receive from the Six of Cups is a turnaround, meaning we are overcoming an obstacle, or we're moving past something. And I feel that's kind of what the card is asking you to do, is it's asking you to move past something. And I got nothing else. You have two sixes here. If you've been watching me for a while, you know I love two sixes. Two sixes says you're going in the right direction. You're on the right path. You're going the right way. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Temperance card. Really amazing time to mix two things together. In the Temperance card, he's mixing these two cups together. It's kind of like hard for me. Like I without knowing what you do, I really can't tell you. But it's like if you have a skill and then you have a business, it's like, can the two things go together? Or maybe you have two different skills that you could be mixing together. And like I said, I don't really have a good example, but we're just in a really good time for like mixing two ideas that seem different together. And if you do that, that intersection is genius. One of my favorite books of all time, Skip the Line by James Altucher. He talks about idea sex. Like the intersection of two ideas is usually where genius lives. And so I don't know, like, do you have two different skills? Do you have a business and like an unrelated skill that actually could be related? I would be thinking about it because it probably could make you more successful. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the world. I say it all the time. I think that we need to fill the world with more better ideas. I kind of feel like we are in the new earth, right? But it feels weird. It feels different. It feels empty because we haven't filled it yet with our good ideas. So start filling the world with your good ideas and by creating, and you will also be more successful. With the Six of Cups, you have the Hierophant again. So yes, definitely some blessings that could be coming in for you. If you want love, the Six of Cups can be a soulmate. And, these two people are on I always say that the Hierophant, like, sure, it can represent marriage. But what I really feel about the Hierophant is that it usually represents that you're attracting a person where it's kind of like you're on a parallel path to that person, as in you both are working towards the same things. Maybe not exactly the same, but similar. And so you could be attracting someone, like, I'm not saying they're like similar to you, but they might be working towards similar ideas in life. And so definitely could be attracting a person like that. Next, in the good stuff, you have this Stay in Integrity card and this Take the Lead card. Yes, definitely a good time to take the lead. Every single person gets these cards of taking the lead, like since the middle of April, basically. And that does not mean everybody will be taking the lead, because probably people that don't listen to Minnow Tarot won't be. But if you are, then anything you could take the lead on, I would, because the energy says so. It's just that simple. It's probably all the energy going to Aries, which is the Emperor, which is taking the lead or bossing up, right? And so it would be a really good time for you to boss up on anything that you're doing with those cards. Next, you have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles in the good stuff can represent stabilizing your finances. So a lot of you could be doing things to stabilize your finances, or to to do more, to make more money. And sorry, I was getting a little bit distracted there for a second, because I'm also getting another message here with the Four of Pentacles. Sometimes I'll get a message and then the real message comes through, and that's what I'm getting here. I feel like some of you are about to do something where you are thinking about putting a lot of effort into it, but you're saying to yourself, like, what if it fails? Which could always be true. But I really get this feeling on the Four of Pentacles. Again, this is not what the Four of Pentacles means, but I read intuitively. And, what I'm getting here is that something is, like, going to be worth the effort that you're going to put into it. So if you're thinking about, like, really, if you're working on a project or a business or an idea, and if you're thinking about, like, really going all out, maybe that's what this is saying, like, go all out, for sure. And if you do that, I think you will be happy. You have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a victory. Again, this would be being victorious if you go all out on something. If you truly give something your all, I would definitely encourage you to do that here, Virgo. I think that it will lead to a victory in the future, or right now. Like, maybe it'll lead to a victory much quicker than you think. So definitely something that I think could be good for you to work on with these Six of Wands. You have the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is a card of, like, an opportunity. So you definitely could be being presented with some sort of big opportunity at this time. I love the Ace of Pentacles, but usually the Ace of Pentacles is just potential. So sometimes we don't see the potential. If you get any opportunities at this time, it would be worth it to look at. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Cups here. The Queen of Cups is about following your heart, and maybe your heart is telling you to go all out on something with the Four of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. So I would definitely go all out and follow your heart. Yes, with the Six of Wands, you have the Six of Pentacles. 2 sixes, again, so definitely you are on the right path. You're going in the right direction. I feel this could be a lot of success coming in for you. I like this a lot, Virgo. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Three of Cups. Yeah, celebration, happiness. A big theme for you, Virgo, for a long time has been the people you surround yourself with. I really feel that you are kind of surrounding yourself with better people at this time, or you could be you could finally be understanding, like, what people have your back and which people do not have your back, basically. And obviously that can be a good thing. It can say that you're getting more support because you're surrounding yourself with the right people. Next, you have this Mule card. It says someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. I also have this card that says Rat. It says someone is working against you behind your back. I would definitely be very careful of stubborn people. The weird thing is, we had a bunch of fixed energy over, like, the last year. A bunch of things were in Taurus and, all this other stuff. And so I think that, that fixed time that we have been in was meant to show us, like, hey, you have these people in your life that are holding you back because they're not willing to adapt or change or get with the times or whatever. And that's really what I feel here, Virgo. I'm going to pull you another card because I feel like these two cards are, pretty much the same thing. I feel this is like one person, or it could be certain people that are just never going to change. And, that card is saying, be careful. You have this Dragon card. It says, beware of self-delusion. Seven of Cups. With the Seven of Cups, plus we're going to have Neptune will be retrograding back into Pisces this year, and that is your opposite sign. Neptune and Pisces is very delusional, and so this can go both ways. You can be delusional in the positive, right? You can think that you are too good at doing something or better than you are. You can also think the other way, which is that you're not good enough to do what you're about to do. So I would be, like, somewhere in the middle. I also think that just looking at the evidence, like, is how how you can avoid being delusional, which would be like putting things into practice with the Seven of Cups. Instead of just dreaming of those 7 cups in front of your face, saying to yourself, like, okay, I'm going to take these actions and see if I can actually get a result. If you get a result, then you're not being delusional. If you don't, then maybe it's not that you're delusional. You just have to reassess what you're doing and do something different. And, that's what I would do there. You have this box card. It says you will be receiving a gift. Again, 6 of Cups can be a gift from the universe, so definitely can be a gift from the universe. You have this younger man. It says dealings with relationships and younger man. You have this fair woman. It says dealing. I always clarify these people cards, and it got clarified with a people card. It says fair woman, dealings with relationships with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. This could be a person that's coming in for you. It could be a younger person. You could be the younger person. They could be the older person. It doesn't really matter. You have this camel. It says prepare and you will overcome a problem. Oh, what is it? No, that's not what it said. It said persevere and you will overcome a problem. So again, but maybe you need to prepare as well because I said it. But also definitely time to persevere. Pretty interesting reading, Virgo. I do like where this is going though. Really good. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.